Well. Good morning, West Ham fans. It's not just any morning, it's match day afternoon. Um, I started doing that intro and then I realised actually it's about 1 o'clock this afternoon. So anyway, West Ham take on Everton in a few short hours in the David Moyes derby, the David Unsworth derby, the Danny Williamson derby. That's It's definitely more obscure. Give us your most obscure derby name, i.e. a player who's played for both, in the comments below. And then we'll have a laugh. We'll have a laugh later on. I'm going to go with Danny Williamson, the Danny Williamson derby. Lucas Neal derby. Didn't he play for both? Yeah, he did. Anyway, for anyone new to the channel, and thank you, you've had a load of new subscribers, so I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the support. And what we try and do a few hours before is try and predict the starting 11. We've been doing it for years now, so I think we've been right once, like properly right once. Now, in terms of fresh injuries, we know there's nothing really new to add to the table. Following the David Moyes press, as a Freudian slip, so used to say that. Following the Graham Potter press conference on Thursday, he mentioned that Fulkrug was training for the squad. The squad unlikely to start. You might see an appearance from him potentially today on the bench. We'll see. Apart from that, everyone else is the same. It's a belief that Crescencio Somerville will be back we'll be back after the international break, which was always what we were led to be believed. And so too, properly Fulkrug as well. They've got another couple of weeks to get back into full fitness and recover from injuries and stuff like that. So apart from that, it's pretty much the squad's all the same. The one plus is he was asked a question about Jean-Claire Todibo, and he basically the journalist actually asked, why are you playing him for 6 remember Panasson, and he was saying it's pure fitness, but he reckons that Todibo hopefully will be close to playing a full 90, or as close as possible to playing full 90 today as well, which is great to see because it means we won't have to have half an hour of Mavropanos. So let's give it a go like Donkey Kong. Look at that flash straight away, and let's start. Let's go with the easy ones. For me, obviously Areola's in goal. No problem with that at all. Is this the day we finally unleash Evan Ferguson? Is this the day we finally unleash a more, like, rather than having three central midfielders, have someone who's going to put his foot in the ball, like a Paqueta? I think you'll get one of them, not the other one. And so for me, again, I think he keeps that back three as it is. For me, I think it is kind of working. As I said, we've gone from a side who've conceded 2 goals a game to a side that only conceded 1 goal a game. And that includes last year as well. If you look at the table last year, under Moyes, we were conceding 2 goals a game on average. Whereas, and even up until Potter's taken over, we were still conceding 2 goals on average. And now we're conceding 1 goal. So, you have to score 1 goal to get a draw. 2 goals to win. It's that simple. And then I think, obviously, Aaron, who I think is criminal, didn't get called up to the England squad, in my opinion. I haven't seen anything to suggest that Ollie needs to be dropped. I think, if anything, it's a bit of by playing him, it's a bit of a, not necessarily, I don't think Potter's that petty, but 2 fingers up at Moyes. So we're playing the kids now, that type of thing. That was always something that Moyes was always criticised for not doing. Personally, do you know? And I don't like the Bowen Kudus sort of 2 up front, particularly when you're playing against decent centre halves. And Newcastle had. I mean, Dan Burn was like 2 foot taller. Congratulations, Dan, for getting called up to the English squad as well. That's a great achievement at 32, I think. Something like that. And then, this weekend, today's going to be up against someone like Tarkowski, who's going to have him for lunch. So does he go with an Evan Ferguson up front? Does he? I don't know if he'll be. Things I don't know. You can. I'm toying with it in my mind. The great thing is we've got the option to mix it up, and that was always one of the things. I remember when Moyes was West Ham manager, and Potter came with I think Chelsea and I think Brighton, and he had his number because he could change the formation. He'll know exactly how Moyes is going to be set up. And that was always one of the criticisms. Moyes wasn't adaptable enough. Whereas I think at least with the squad we've got available now, we can adapt and change. Um, I mean, the Newcastle game, for example, he was going to make that triple sub. Potter was ready to make that triple sub before the goal went in, so he was going to try and nick it. But anyway, so obviously the last few games it's been Alvarez, JWP, and Souček. Will he do that again? What about Paqueta? I don't think he'll start with Ferguson. I just don't think he will. And that's why I probably get it wrong. I think he's going to. Although I don't like it, I think he's going to go back with this formation, have Kudus and Bowen, and try and outpace them. And for that, I think you need someone like a Paqueta to be able to distribute the ball and find those pockets of space. If you're going to play if you're going to play it on the floor, and that's what we are trying to do. You can see what we're trying to do. We try and spread the play. I don't know how many crossfield balls we've been doing recently, but it does seem to be a lot more crossfield, left to right, right to left, and try and sort of split their midfield up. You see it quite a lot when we're playing now, particularly with my vantage point at home games. You can see how much space the likes of Ollie's on the left hand side when the ball's on the right, and vice versa. And we're just still not up to speed with doing that. So for me, if that's the case, I reckon. Oh, I don't know. It's 2 out of 3, isn't it? It's 2 out of 3. I mean, I'm just going to move these along so I can get a bit more space. I just can't see him dropping Souček because you've got to think midfield wise. Decore, good player. Does he go with a? Thing is, Alvarez. I thought Alvarez is a good game, but Alvarez was playing a bit more forward, which is a bit sort of surprising, really, for the game. Oh, I think it'll. I don't know. But then that is so slow. That too. See, and that's what I've been saying. It's plain. That's what I said on Tuesday when I said I got it wrong. For me, it's not the defence that needs sorting; it's this midfield. That's the priority at the moment. It's very, very slow. And Alvarez alongside a Banzuzi or a Fofana or someone like that, revolutionises that midfield. Or you come in, you got Fofana and Freddie Potts next year or something like that. It makes that so much more dynamic, that midfield, and then everything moves forward. Then the likes of Bowen and Kudus don't feel like they have to track back as much because they've got a real sort of powerhouse in midfield. Now he'll either go with that, or he's going to put JWP in and go and keep the 3 in the midfield. I'd like him to be brave. I would like him to be brave, but then, to be honest, when you look at that, this is the team that beat Arsenal at the Emirates for the first time this season, and I've got a feeling at the moment that's probably what he's going to do. I think that's what he's probably going to do, but obviously it'd be a 3 rather than 2 check. I just can't squeeze them all in. I would love, but again, I would love Evan. I would love Evan to get a proper run out, and then because I was looking at because I was talking about it yesterday with Youssef En-Nesyri, and people saying, "Oh, it's never going to get. What's about getting Youssef En-Nesyri? It's a Moyes sign." But actually, when you look at how Youssef sets up, he that Youssef plays that role, and then you got Talisca and Skominski played there. And that is almost exactly the same setup. You'd probably change that. You'd get in. No, not sorry, that's wrong. My bad. Like that. and then you'd probably do something like that. That is how Fenerbahce. That's how Jose Mourinho sets up Fenerbahce, with Yusuf and Nesri up front. I would actually love that. I would love that. That would be my preference, I think, of what I want to happen today, but it isn't going to happen. Just can't see it happening. I'd love to. I'd love it as a curveball. I would love it as a curveball, or even fuck it, take it Alvarez and put Soler in. Just go balls out. Really sort of surprise everyone, but he ain't. But that's and that's the vision I think that Potter can see for the side, which is why someone like an En-Nesyri with that would make sense, because that's exactly how Fenerbahce set up. And En-Nesyri with 21 goals is goal involvements this season or something like that. So anyway, that's what I want to see. We'll probably see it. Will be another thing. But let me know what you think in the comments below. And we'll see how close or how far we are. We're probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I reckon I'm 9 out of 11 right. I think the Paqueta one's probably wrong and the Ferguson one's probably wrong. What we'll see in a couple of hours' time. But anyway, until then, take care, everyone. Stay safe, stay warm, stay humble. Come on, you Irons. Let's beat the Toffees. Last time at Goodison Park, we did it with Arsenal, didn't we? We were the last team to beat Arsenal at Highbury and the first team to beat with the Emirates. Let's make some history. Much love. Bye. Bye.